Welcome back to the Rugby League Guru podcast. Usually on a Thursday afternoon, we'd have to take the two podcasts with Sowie. Sowie's moved into state. We've had a pretty rough breakup. We have got back together and we're working things out. So there will be a Wednesday morning podcast coming each and every week. No YouTube with Sowie, but he will be jumping on the audio on the Guru podcast each and every week. So we have got a new show for Thursday, which we're going to get into today. I'm going to introduce my co-host for the season in a moment. But this show brought to you by the Roo Crew. Guys, make sure you go and join. The link is down below in the description. Got a record number of people in there this year, which is very, very exciting. We've got an ESPN tipping comp in there, which, hot tip, your boy went 2 from 2 in Vegas. Stop it. That one has a $3,000 cash prize, free entry for Roo Crew members, if you can catch me, that is. And we have our Supercoach comp as well, which is a $10 entry for Roo Crew members, but that $10 goes straight back to all of you guys. At the moment, there's only 400 people in there. So that's 400 people times $10. Carry the one. That's $4,000. I'm chucking in $5,000. At the moment, that's a $9,000 cash prize in there for the winner. You only have to beat 400 fucking people to win $9,000. The guy that comes second out of 160,000, he will win $5,000. You can lead a horse to water, you can't make him drink sometimes. Come and join the Roo Crew. The guy that won the Supercoach comp last year, I just spent a few days with him in Vegas with his $12,000 that he won, took himself to Vegas to watch his Bulldogs. You've already got all the rumours and everything in there from this week. I've got about 3 or 4 players that I know are already going to be ruled out for round 1 that are all in there that you'll need to know for your Supercoach. All that sort of stuff. Go and join the Roo Crew. Links down below in the description. My co-host for 2025 here on a Thursday afternoon, Tommy Jaeger. How are you, mate? Welcome.
Thank you, Roo. Good to be here. Also went 2 from 2 in Vegas, which was nice.
A couple of big swinging dicks in the studio,
that's
huh?
Right. That's right. It makes 2 of us. So
huge.
Good to team up for 2026 and talk some rugby league football.
Now, for those of you that don't know, I'm just going to take you back to the 20th of February 2002.
He's good.
Thank you. Where I arrived at Prince of Wales Hospital to meet my new little cousin sitting to my left, held him in my arms, knew there was something special coming. Didn't think he was quite up to the rigors of the Guru and podcasting world and all that stuff. But here we are. You're fucking flying, my friend.
Yeah, thank you. No, it wasn't on any of our bingo cards, but yeah, Roo and I are cousins, and I was saying to him last night, we used to be down at our grandparents' place, and there was a game on the Wii at the time, Rugby League 3, and obviously most normal people would play the game, Rugby League 3. We used to sit there and try and guess the first name of Toyota Cup players. So
yeah.
Probably looking back now with hindsight, that was a sign of things to come.
Now, Tom said we used to. He's just too popular now. I'm still down at Nan and Pars, naming the Toyota Cup players all the time. Shout out to Azpelli Fine, one of my boys. But yes, we're cousins. Tommy's obviously flying at the moment, killing it on social media, on Bloke, absolutely fucking flying. My favourite content, mate, is the Oztag stuff by far and away. And we've played a bit of tag together.
We have.
It's always been my worst fear in the back of my mind that you're taking the piss out of me. I'm not going to lie, which I think might line up slightly. Thoughts?
Well, luckily, you could argue that, but you're not the you're not the forefront of the inspiration. If you go down to any local park, unfortunately, there's about 300 guys that are probably fearing the same thing.
Yeah. We're talking to you, Benny Handley. I know you're watching, brother.
It's probably more loosely based on Benny than anything, but he's putting bums on seats down there at Heffron, so can't take too much piss out of him.
Yeah, have they put that statue up at Heffron yet of Benny Handley? It must be due. Shout out to you, big Corey Halls, bro. We love you, mate.
Still building it.
Now, for 2025, Tommy's going to be here each and every Thursday afternoon. We'll be here on the YouTube and on the podcast. Our big thing is we don't have a name for this yet. So, instead of us brainstorming and throwing shit together, I thought let's throw it out to the audience. So if you're on the podcast, come over to the YouTube, throw it down below in the comments. I'm willing to lock myself into picking one of those names from there, and I might even give a prize to whoever gets our name. We'll get you a Guru football. We've got some new ones coming out later this year, which I am. You mentioned Toyota Cup before. I'm super excited. That's a little clue for you dribblers at home. Some of you will work it out very quickly. But yes, put a name down below. Maybe you want to watch the show, get a bit of a vibe for what's going on. I think we need some sort of punny rugby league reference or something.
Be nice. Yeah,
would be nice. Something along those lines. So let us know. We're both middle ball playing forwards. Both very handsome, of course.
Yeah, that
as
goes
well.
without saying, obviously.
What's your saying? Handsome
ball playing middle forward.
Yeah. Rolls off the tongue, doesn't it?
Way too wordy to have stuck how it did. That started as a joke that I was starting my own breakaway competition, handsome ball playing middle forward 360. And yeah, enough people sort of caught on to that. Obviously, it struck a nerve. So
yeah, it's very good. I back it. I'm heaps into it. Speaking of handsome ball playing middle forwards, Critta Dad, haven't seen you in a while. How be thee?
That's not an intro that I think I've ever had, and I don't know if I want it again. That was awesome. I just wanted to say I also got my tips correct in Vegas. So
fuck yeah. So we're all 2 from 2.
3 heavy hitters.
That's what you come here for, honestly.
Yeah.
Flying.
I'm good though. I'm so excited to be here. I haven't met you before, Tom, but I'm a big fan of the content, so I'm really looking forward to where this show goes. I think that the show name needs to have something to do with being cousins as well. There's something in that.
There might be something there.
Yeah.
do your
So
best.
get creative. Let us know in the comments what's doing. Haddad, you're not on the show that much at the moment. You're flying around. You're on TV.
Well, I mean, that's big coming from you, who's had 2 broadcast appearances in the last week, Channel 7 and Triple M.
You're getting 2 a day at the moment. You're flying.
Well, I think we're both flying. And Tom, your time will come.
Yeah, I hope so.
All right, so chuck your names for the show down below. We'll get stuck into those. Now, we're going to kick off today with 2 questions. We're just going to dip the toe in the pool. They're coming from the Roo Crew. Well, you know what? I've got I put up in the Roo Crew and I'm like, give me your questions. And, we get 40, 50 questions. I go through and pick them. Anyway, I picked my 2 favourites. So I thought, this is a good conversation points. Mm-hmm. And I picked them from different parts. I picked one from the top, one from the bottom. Anyway, I've only just realised it came from the same motherfucker. So I think he knows what I do. I think he's put one at the top, let the bit of traffic build, then he snuck one at the bottom, which is an incredibly good knock. So Ricky Dodds, shout out to you. His first one is, and I like this question, I'm keen to hear what your thoughts are, Tommy. What's your boys' perfect Super Saturday in terms of matchup? So if you could pick your 3 perfect games for this season right now that you'd want to watch on a Super Saturday, what would they be? How would you go about it?
All right, well, let's break this down, Roo. I think obviously there's some matchups that are huge, but they're not Super Saturday. So first one for me, Roosters South. You've never seen them play on a Saturday except for Sin Bin Saturday in a final or something like that. You know what I mean? So that you probably rule that out.
See, I've put that in, but I felt the exact same thing about. I felt this is a Friday night matchup. We know this is a Friday night matchup, but I've selfishly. I've locked that into my 7:30, my 8 o'clock time slot.
Okay, which, I mean, if it was on, I'm not.
We're not going to punch on early.
Yeah, that's right.
But that's where I've got it. Okay.
Yeah, and I'd be okay with that. If I turn my TV on a Saturday night and Roosters are playing South, I'd be fine with it.
Yes.
Obviously. But the way I've sort of broken it down is, I want a game 3 p.m. You don't want a poo slinger.
Yes.
You want 2 teams, probably middle of the road, going to sort of be running, attacking rugby league football in the daylight. So I actually went with Tigers and Souths this year.
Huge.
Bit of history there, and I also think the way that they play, that would just be a great sort of 3 o'clock start.
Yes.
For prees.
It's got a 3 o'clock feel to it. Tigers have a 3 o'clock feel to it. Shout out to Hammy.
You then want to sort of step in a little bit further into, I guess, the arm wrestle that is rugby league football for the 5:30 slot. Keeping that sort of old traditional rivalry this year, I would be going for the Bulldogs versus the Parramatta Eels.
So close. Yep.
So that's what I'd be going for 5:30. And then later on in the evening, you want to have 2 teams that could offer you whatever, regardless of what the weather's doing. You could get an arm wrestle that's 4-2. You could get some running rugby league football. I've gone with your meat and potatoes, Broncos versus Panthers.
Yeah, nice. Very nice.
That is
We're getting that this weekend too, Friday night. Cracker.
Yeah.
All right, I settled on, I ended up putting Roosters South as the 8 p.m. game. I get totally, it doesn't feel like a Super Saturday, but I just love that game too much and what it means. Fair. I'm going to open at 3 p.m, Suncorp Stadium, dry track, perfect conditions, Queensland Derby, Dolphins Broncos.
Nice.
On a dry track, you get Izzy Cartoa, you get Reece Walsh, all the fuck boys, absolutely love it. Then the 5:30, I've gone for what I think will be the NRL Grand Final this year. I've gone for the Bulldogs and the Penrith Panthers.
Yeah, well,
get the Panthers versus their reserve grade side going head to head. Ticks all the boxes for me. Dolphins, Bronx, Dogs, Panthers, Roosters, South would be my perfect Super Saturday.
So you're on Fuckboy Cup.
Yep.
In a grand final preview.
Oh yeah.
Into one of the oldest, if not the oldest.
The oldest, the greatest rivalry rugby league's ever seen.
The Book of Feuds.
Yes. Critta Dad, is there any matchups or any teams that you think didn't get a feature here that come to mind for you. Souths are playing on both days for
Yeah.
you, so I imagine you'd be pretty over the moon.
I don't know how I feel about the 3 p.m. fixture for South. I was a little harsh, but I think it is a nice start to Super Saturday. I'm happy to see them included for that. And I think based on last year and whatnot, like it is, I suppose, a fair call. I got to say I'm a fan of your lineup there, Roo, because that the action we're going to see tomorrow night as well in terms of that Broncos-Penrith matchup, I think that's one of my favourite clashes at the moment. So I think my only change might be to see them play each other.
Taking Tommy's fixture there.
Yeah, I really like that.
Very good. I'll tell you what, the Titans aren't going to know what to do with themselves if they're not playing 3 p.m. or 5:30 Saturday. They must have the bye, I assume, this weekend.
Yeah, that's right. Does make a lot of sense.
Seabus only opens for those 5 hours every single week. All right, crack 'em on. Let us know in the comments if you've got a different matchup or what you think we've slept on or whatever it might be. Can't wait to hear from you, Warriors fans. Ricky Dodds, top 5 Smokeys to debut in Origin this year. Now, what we've done, we've got 5 names each. We're not going to go in order or anything like that. We've just got 5 names that we fancy. Do you want to go one each?
Sure.
Okay. My first one, I think this guy's going to really suit the 6-man bench criteria. I think eventually he's going to be a Queensland star anyway. He can play multiple positions. I think Jackson Purdue from the North Queensland Cowboys. I genuinely think, as a proud New South Welshman, he's going to fucking terrorise us for the next 10 years or so. He really, really worries me, and I think that when it gets to the point that he's sitting on a 6-man bench and they can just inject him somewhere, I'm seriously alarmed about that. Thoughts on Purdue?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think there is a good chance that he grabs one of those 18 or 19 spots at some point in the next couple of years, and depending on what they're doing this year and how they perform, I think he's definitely a chance. That's a good one.
Do you reckon he's a chance to be in the starting side? Do you think he's a chance to land a centre spot?
Oh, I think it depends on sort of what they do with him at club level. But, I mean, he could. I think they've got...
I have Hamiso on one centre spot.
Yep.
I assume Val Holmes. I'll tell you what, you got Rob Toyer there as well. Val Holmes, does it not feel like he has been around for fucking ever?
He has.
How old do you reckon he is?
I would guess 31.
Yeah, he's just turned 30. Like, if you would have said 32 or so, I would have been like, yeah, no, I get it. It feels like he's been around for that long. He started so young, went to the NFL. He's been to multiple clubs now. Like 15 years ago, you would have gone, oh my God, 30's so old.
Yeah.
It's nothing now.
I didn't expect him to be younger than me.
Right? That's what I'm saying. That's crazy.
That's shocking.
He feels like an uncle.
Yeah. How old was he when he went to the NFL? Must have been.
That was... Kat, can you look that up? When he went? I reckon that was like 18, 19.
Yeah.
I reckon around about that.
So he won a comp when he was like 4.
Because then he came back. He won the comp in 2016, which is only 10 years ago now, 11 years ago or whatever. Crazy. That Sharkies team, him and Jack Bird, just kids running around fucking people up. All right, who's next on your list?
Well, okay, so this guy for me, I think he absolutely should play. I think if there's an injury or two in the New South Wales side, he absolutely will play. But let me just start by saying, Rule, I think as New South Wales fans, as New South Welshmen generally, I think we have a... Have you seen Harry Potter?
Yes, I believe I have, yes.
Are you familiar with the scene when Dudley Dursley comes down on his birthday to 37 presents?
Yes. Yeah.
And he's blowing up because it was
38 last year, I think.
Yeah, 36 presents, but it was 37 last year.
Shit for mum, pa.
Yeah, that's us as New South Welshmen, in my opinion. We've got all the flashy toys. What's next? But up north, there's a kid who his parents have spent some hard-earned coin on a bike, and the bike's the only present.
Yes.
But it's going to give him a lot of memories, grazes, bruises, etc., and he's going to get more out of the bike than the fat kid with the 37 presents.
Yep.
I think Jacob Preston is our bike. I think he needs to be playing right back row for us. And I know that we've got some gun back rowers.
Yep.
But I think if everything goes to plan, I think Mitch Moses is one of our halves.
Yep.
I think he runs one of the great, honest outballs of our time.
Yes.
Which I think will open up space for Mitchy Moses to take the line on himself.
Yep.
And I know we've got other guys like, Hudson Young and Martin will be there or thereabouts.
Angus,
Gus Crichton,
yep.
you know, Hamole, depending on form.
Yeah.
I think we need to park the idea of let's use one of them off the bench through the middle for 5 seconds. Like, there's just no need for it. You know what I mean? Like, make the call. And I personally, if he continues the form that he's been playing with, I'd be looking at giving Jacob Preston the right back row spot.
I like that. Now, I've got another New South Wales back rower that I absolutely love. And I actually had this guy and Jacob Preston written next to each other. I am an enormous Dill Lucas guy.
So am I.
I think once Angus leaves, I reckon there's a good chance Dill Lucas grabs that left edge spot for New South Wales. I think he's another guy similar to Purdue. I think he'd be perfect for coming off the bench. He can cover centre. He can cover back row. Tell you a story about Dill Lucas that I just absolutely love. And you know, you hear this dialogue now in the game. You see it on the shows and all that sort of stuff where the players are all too friendly, blah, blah, blah. I'm sitting at LAX airport and I'm sitting there in the lounge and all the Bulldogs players are about like 3 metres away from me. And they're all sitting sort of in a hallway on individual seats, right?
Right.
So they're all facing it. They're on their dog and bones. They're listening to music, whatever they're doing. Anyway, I've already seen when I walked in the lounge, Newcastle Knights are on the other side. Dill Lucas walks over to go to the bathroom and he walks down this entire tunnel of Bulldogs players, right? As Dill Lucas walks through, he's not on his phone, not doing it, he's just walking. As he's walking, he looks and makes eye contact with just about all of them, and a few of them sort of like go to nod or go to shake his hand, how are you, mate? Dill Lucas walks straight fucking past each and every one of them. Doesn't smile, doesn't nod, doesn't shake a hand, doesn't wave. And I said to one of the Knights training staff that I saw back in Sydney, I go, I saw Dill do this. And he goes, mate, if he's not on your team, he doesn't give a fuck. And I love that. I thought those days were gone. And maybe Dill Lucas is a unique cat like that. But I absolutely loved what I saw. And funnily enough, Jacob Preston, we walked past, who might be one of the nicest dudes of all time. Jacob Preston sort of did a half hand movement. Dill just, see ya.
Really?
Hectic, which I love.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we need more of that, I reckon.
Heaps more. We don't see enough of it.
Yeah, and, you know, Spencer's sort of been on his own doing that stuff for a while now. So wouldn't hurt to have another person in there doing that sort of thing.
Who's your next one?
Lukey.
Ah, good. I was going to say, let's get some Queenslanders in here. Yeah.
I think, you know, obviously been injured and whatever, but I really like him. I think people forget that when Nanai sort of burst on the scene, he was right there with him, and he's obviously been held back by injury. Watching him the other night, I think he's a very good chance, whether it be starting back row or off the bench. I think he's a very good chance of playing Origin this year.
I have said for a while, I think if he didn't have the injuries he's had, I think he could have had the same career as Nanai. I think he's just as talented. He might not be as good like Ariel, but I think everything outside of that, Lukey's just as good. If
I think
not, maybe
Lukey's
better.
A better defender than
Yeah,
Nanai,
I agree with you. He's a
personally.
much better, yeah.
So I think that might be where he gets the nod, because I think in Origin, they've sort of held Nanai back a bit because of that.
Yes.
I don't think they'll do that with Lukey if he sort of performs how we know he's capable. So I think, would not be shocked whatsoever if he's there come Origin time.
I had Lukey on mine as well. I'm going to give another Queenslander. He's injured right now. Well, he's making his return this week. He's playing reserve grade this week. I reckon he'll go from reserve grade to Origin this year. Harry Grant is the 9 for Queensland, obviously. I think on a 6-man bench, like, you could carry a Reid Marnie or someone like that.
Yeah.
I just think, mate, Max Plath, he can play a bit of hooker if you need him to, but he's also, I think he's just made for Origin. He's another one that I'm terrified of seeing in there. You've got Pat Carrigan, who will be the 13 and whatnot, but I just think having Plath on a bench, whether you want to use him as a 9 if you need to give Harry a spell, or if it's just for coverage for 9. You know, Kurt Mann was there last year as well, but I kind of like Plath as a 9, and I just love him as a 13, and his leg speed through the middle. I think he'd be perfect for State of Origin, Max Plath.
Yeah, he would be. And I think it'll be interesting to see if he does get a nod, what that looks like in terms of how they use him, because obviously depending on what you're looking for and who's also available, like if you've got guys going big minutes through the middle there, does he get much time? Probably not, but I think he'll definitely be in and around it at least as injury coverage for sure. The other one, just while we're on Queensland, I was thinking about this the other day. Like obviously, you would assume Did and Munster are the halves, but I was thinking if one of them was to have an injury, or let's say if the Cows are just really out of form, but probably more likely that there's an injury. Sam Walker and DCE are playing in the halves together. So being in the halves together, and we've heard the Roosters come out and say, oh, they're, Sam's a 7, but they're actually both going to sort of play 7, and the way we're doing it's like new age, new age halves or whatever. How would you see that playing out if one of those guys is to get the nod? Do they go back to their old skipper, or do they give the young kid the keys?
I think they'd probably go to the new. Well, I think it depends who it is. I think if you lose Dearden, I think you'd probably go to Sam Walker, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, yeah, no, the more I think about it, I think you probably go to Sam Walker. Surely you're not going to bring your former captain back, are you?
Does Walker and Munster
I think it also
work?
matters what game it is. If it's a decider, I'd probably lean towards DCE personally.
Yes.
If it's game 1, start of a series, I'd probably lean towards Sammy Walker. This is a really good one you've thrown up here.
I would be more likely to actually go both of them than have Walker and Munster together. I don't know in a decider if I could bank on those two. I think you're right. I think you'd have to go Walker and Munster and DCE.
Yep.
But it'd just be interesting if, as I said, outside of an injury, I think that the halves are pretty set there in Dearden and Munster. But if the Roosters are flying, if there's an injury, it'd be interesting to see how they, because DCE, he's still available. So
yes. You got other guys. Well, the other one that could come into calculations as well if he has a good season is Jaden Campbell as well. He's another one that could be a halfback there. There's a few options there.
Campbell's probably a great shout as like a 18, 19 too.
Yes. Yep. Yeah,
as is Brimson.
I'll tell you the other one that, honestly, based on how he played the other night, I know he wore the 1 jersey, but, mate, the way that KP played,
yeah,
fuck, you could do worse than KP, I reckon.
Yeah, I mean, the way they used him was brilliant, I thought. And that's why I didn't know this going into the season, but I personally, before the season, thought the Knights will overachieve relative to everyone else.
Yep.
Seeing that made me a lot more confident, seeing the way that they were using him and seeing him do a lot of the kicking. And,
Yes.
Yes, he played unreal. We saw him set up the try for best, but just seeing him fucking fired up too. Like, there's all the clips after the game of him going bananas, which is unreal. We all know how nonchalant he is normally. But there was a point in the game where I think it might have even been after that Tulangi flick pass, where they sort of forced the error. They defended a few back-to-back sets, and he was fucking up and about.
Yeah.
Which I think for them to go anywhere over the next few years, you need that. And I think we forget, because he's such a chill guy and he's been injured so much over the last few years, we forget how fucking passionate and how hardworking he actually is when he turns it on. So, yeah, I think he actually, come to think of it, he has to be in the squad somewhere, doesn't he?
Like, I think he will be.
Whether it be 14, 18, 19.
I think he'll be on a 6-man bench, yeah. When I got off my plane at Sydney the other day, I went to get a taxi and I had to wait about 20 minutes. I ended up sitting next to Dill Brown for about 20 minutes. I've never met Dill before. I've never had anything to do with him. Spoke for about 20 minutes and he was just talking, legend of a fella too. Very nice guy, Dill Brown. And we were talking about just how the Knights played and his role and everything. And he was just sort of saying, mate, like, he said, everything is just made simple for me. My job, run the football and tackle. And I'm like, I fucking love that. That's what you do best and you do your thing. And he's like, I don't have to worry about anything else other than just controlling my right side, and I get to wear 7 and I get to kind of play 5'8" because KP jumps into first receiver.
Yeah.
Love it.
Unreal.
Absolutely love it.
And I think, the only thing that will hold them back is if their middle can stack up for 26 rounds. I think for Newcastle to make the 8, they would need a very lucky run with injuries.
100%. Yep.
Through the middle. But, if Sharp's there, KP, Brown, we haven't really seen a spine like that ever.
Yeah. I think the pack it's serviceable. I think it compete. I think at full strength it can compete with probably 70% of the packs in the competition. I don't think it can compete with that top tier. But yeah, once they have injuries, I have a lot of concerns about that Knight side. But anyone else you had on your little Smokeys list?
2 outside backs for the Blues. I had Campbell Graham and I had Alamotti for that
Alamotti,
right wing spot.
Brandy. I like that. Yeah.
Yes, I think obviously Lomax won't be there, or at this stage won't be there. So there is a spot up for grabs. I think Campbell Graham's a very good chance of getting it. He's been close a few times.
Yes.
And now that he's going to be playing on the right wing for Souths, if they're going well, I think defensively he's great. He's also good in the air, being 6 foot 1,000. So they could do a lot worse. But then the other one that you could look at obviously is Alamotti, bit younger and a bit more energy.
Yeah,
gives you something different. But yeah, just depends what they want to do.
The last one that I would throw in there that I don't know if he's a smoky you would call him, but I mean, he hasn't played Origin. He hasn't been in a camp yet. Stranger danger, Ethan Strange.
Oh, yeah.
He's another one that I think, I mean, if he plays like he did last year, he's one that'll put his hand up in the 5'8" role. I worry because you got if Nathan Cleary and Mitch Moses are available, I think it'd be hard to not go with them.
Yeah.
But I think Strange would be fantastic to come off the bench for us, especially if our 9, whether it's Robson or Brayley, either one, I don't overly care if they can both play 80 minutes. I think if you, at worst case scenario, if you had to throw Strange in at 9, he'd be able to handle himself. He can play centre, he can play 6. I think he could well and truly handle himself at lock too.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think he will definitely be in and around the camp. I mean, he killed it in the limited time that he got for the Kangaroos.
Yeah.
And I think he's sort of made for it, right? Like he's probably our Munster long term, I think.
That was the chat coming out of the Kangaroos camp, was that a lot of them said he reminds us of Munster.
Yeah, which is exciting to hear, given what Munster has done to us over the last decade. But yeah, no, he's a good shout.
Just having a look through, and I actually learned this when I was over in Las Vegas. I didn't realise. So the Dragons, they got to Vegas and they had a few changes with their rooms and everything.
Yeah.
Anyway, Val Holmes, from what I heard, requested to room with Dan Atkinson,
Yeah.
which, from my understanding, the Dragons were like, oh, okay, like you're going to play right centre. He's the right halfback on that edge. You know, you want to form a combination that makes sense. And apparently Val said, nah, he's a Queenslander. I want to be with him. Which I didn't realise he's a Queenslander.
Yeah, I didn't realise he was a Queenslander either.
Yeah. So Atkinson, what do you make of his game the other day? I thought his boot's a lot bigger than what I realised anyway.
Yeah, I still think it doesn't make any sense having those guys as the 7 and the 6. It should absolutely be swapped. That's all I took watching the game. Like, he tried his ass off. I thought he was good, but he looked noisy, for lack of a better term. He looked like he was sort of like fucking, like really deeping it. And I just think, I don't know. I would like to see him swapped. Kyle on the 7, him as the 6. Let him run a bit more.
Well, I mean, he looked like a guy that hasn't played halfback in 2 years and then had to go to Las Vegas against the best defensive side in the competition and play halfback with all due respect to the Dragons, not too many weapons to work with.
No.
So, yeah, the thing that I took away from it, though, mate, I was really worried that I was going to come away from Vegas and go, who is the halfback in this team? Is it Flano or is it Atkinson? At least I love to see Atkinson have 70 touches of the football. There was no doubt it was his team. And I personally, I thought referee calls they got against them, Canterbury's defence, I don't think it'll get harder than that.
No.
And I also think Jacob Little will make a big difference when he's back in that side too.
Yeah, he will. I actually thought Cookie was phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
Too. So not having to go the distance, I think we'll see the best out of him. And then I also liked what they were doing. A couple of times Gutho jumping in at first receiver. I really liked that to take some pressure off those other two. And crazy that he came out and said what he said, Flano, because I know, like, look, realistically, my opinion on it is it's probably a fair statement to make, but it was never going to age well for him in terms of as the coach of the side.
Yes.
You probably don't fucking say that. But they came out and they gave it a red hot crack. Like, I think the Dogs will be right up there at the end of the year, and they pushed them 90 minutes, had a lot of calls go against them, and they had to come up with a fucking couple of incredible plays to even get over the try line.
Yep.
So, yeah, I don't know. They if Atkinson comes into his own, who knows what they could do this year.
My only worry with the Dragons long term is, can you do that for 27 weeks? Because if they're going to win games of football, that's how they have to win games of football as far as I'm concerned. And they did that for a lot of last year until the injuries hit and it all went to shit. But having to play that grinding style for 27 weeks, it's got to take a big toll.
I think it's going to matter that they lost that game too. Like, to go to Vegas, the travel time emotionally takes a lot out of you to go 90 minutes, to lose how they did.
Yeah.
But you know what? The other thing I'll say on the Dragons is that I thought it was a bit of a yarn just because, like, Toby's been injured, Ryan's been a bit injured at different points over the last few years. They've also struggled. When everyone sort of talked up like Hamish Stewart and the Couchman boys, I hadn't seen a heap of them. And people sort of talked about them like they're the answer to the prayers, you know what I mean? And then Keon coming in and having seen them play round one, I get it now.
You get it.
I get
100%.
it. Like, Keon coming in there is fucking enormous. Yeah. How good's that? How good was that clip of those two as well when they were next to each other?
I was so upset when that play got turned over. No, yeah, I met them during the week for the first time. To be honest with you, because they were injured last year, I've never really seen them together. I didn't realise they were identical.
Yeah.
They are the same fucking human. Like when one of them walked into the lobby and the other one walked in, the other best thing about them was when they walked into the lobby in Las Vegas, they had the exact same clothes on. Head to fucking toe. I thought I was getting stitched up. They both had a black pair of glasses on. They both wear glasses. They both had black joggers with white socks on. They looked exactly the same. Their handshake was exactly the same. They spoke exactly the same.
Brilliant.
Wild. And just me and Rigney, we got in the cab after and we're like, how good are the Couchman boys? Just as humans, they look like they could have walked out of a library. And then you see them in Vegas taking on the Bulldogs pack, alphaing up.
Yeah.
Hectic.
Oh, that clip, it's a shame that it was overturned because it would have been immortalised in that moment, I think. I think they would have got a decent crack at winning the game off the back of it.
Yeah.
I also just think on that, just while we're on it, surely like common sense, like I feel like Volandis and Abdo have been so good at applying a lot of common sense to our game in the last half a decade. Doesn't it just make sense that a fucking video referee can step in there and go, hey, actually, you know what? It wasn't a fucking strip.
You've shit the bed here. Let's not end the game.
And no one would watch that thinking that the referee on the field's a fuckwit.
Yes.
No one.
Yeah.
Like, it happens at fucking half a second. Like, in half a second, it's done.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So for the bunker to step in there and go, hey, I know how you think you saw it, but this is actually what happened.
Yeah.
Just makes fucking sense.
And I think the other thing as well, like, it all happens so fast. The other thing you need to remember with these referees, he had to make that call 86 minutes into his ass hanging out the back as well.
Correct.
Like, it's not just fatigue that hits players. Fatigue hits referees as well. Like fuck, I think it's one thing that people do appreciate, when you see those clips of like referees training and stuff and people sort of take the piss out of it. Like, you have to be so fucking fit to be a referee.
Oh, it's crazy.
And
absolutely crazy.
Then you get down to those moments when you're exhausted, you're making those decisions. It was the wrong call. 100% I believe that. But yeah, just a bit of context there for you. I'm just having a look through the eligible players for Queensland this year.
Do you think Flegler will return? Obviously, he came back with the Dolphins. He's had a lot of injury.
For Origin?
For Origin.
Yeah, I probably think he will.
Yeah.
You'd have to think. He looked classy in his turnouts. Like,
and if you ever look at, and obviously we'll watch the game on Sunday, but like if you ever look at the bench they've picked, Felice is the only front rower sitting on the bench. Like, I read that and like from a super coach point of view, are you getting into that yet or not?
No, I'm one of those guys.
I don't think you should do it.
Yeah,
I don't think it'll
I've
be
played
good for
2
you.
rounds and forget about it. So
yeah, I think that's a good call. Based on the bench they've picked, I'm expecting Flegler to play big minutes. And as you said, based on what he did in the trials, I think he's good to go.
Yeah, it's hard because you forget to, like, him and Gilbert were so fucking good. And when you're out for that long, you just sort of, unfortunately, you do sort of get forgotten a little bit in the context of it. And then seeing him, like, just some of the touches he had too, like, I didn't remember the offloads and the tip-ons. I didn't realise that was such a big part of his game. That's not the memory I had, but he will be big for them because he'll take a lot of pressure off guys that had to go quite the distance last year in Origin, your Carrigans and whatnot. So,
and I think people do forget to some extent, like, before he got injured, I think he got injured 2 or 3 games into his signing with the Dolphins. Like, 4 games ago, he was an Australian front row forward.
Yeah.
Like he was in that side that got beat 30-0 or whatever, but like he's kangaroo level.
Yeah, and even just like to go through what he did, it's a super fucking weird injury.
Yes.
So he hurts his shoulder, and then as it sort of evolves, gets told at certain points, hey, you might not fucking ever play again. This thing that you're sort of building a career on and you've dreamed about forever, you might not get to do it again. So to actually withstand that and come back and not miss a beat, I've banged on about it a little bit, but it's fucking unbelievable.
Huge. Yeah. As I said, I'm just going through this Queensland eligible list. Like, there are so many dudes here that like they're probably 6 injuries away from getting a bait. But if Queensland picked Jai Gray and he came off a bench, I'd be so confident he would brain it.
I was actually going to throw him out as a possible 18th, 19th.
I reckon he's a chance.
Because a lot of people don't realise that he sort of came through as a 6.
Yep.
Because he came onto the scene as a fullback, brained it.
There was always a 6 coming through.
He was always a 6 coming through. So he can cover a fair few positions there. And he's also just a ball of energy.
Yep. The other one that I reckon, I don't think he'll get a spot, but fuck, I'm terrified of like his long-term ceiling. Iongi, Queenslander as well.
Fuck, didn't know that.
Yep. Terrifying. Especially with him playing with Mitch Moses and whatnot. Yeah, scary. All right. Thank you for sending those questions in the Roo Crew. Links below in the description if you would like to join there. Okay, now, a couple of things I want to talk about just from Las Vegas. Mate, you wanted to talk about the sin bin. The non-sin bin and Stephen Crichton tackle. What are your thoughts?
Well, first of all, I want to say that I get that in the past, like a lot of people, the argument has been if it wasn't a superstar, he probably gets sin binned.
Yep.
And I think that's a fair thing to say. I think that there's a good point there. But if that's a new precedent for common sense being applied, I'm okay with it. So what I mean by that is I personally think, and I've watched it back 1,000 times since, just to be like, because I felt the way everyone was reacting, and I know they were reacting based on how it's been officiated in the past, but I was like, fuck, am I missing something here? Like he flies in, he tries to get as low as he can.
Yep.
And two, obviously dips late. The only way that I think Crichton could have mitigated that tackle even further is actually waiting for him to catch the ball, plant, and then just fall on him, which is it's a dangerous thing to ask players to start going, well, don't go in as hard as you can anymore. So I'm actually okay with that being a penalty only if that's how it's refereed moving forward. That makes sense to me. I don't think he deserves 10 minutes there. Whereas if you compare it to Braden Burns and his one, absolutely he could have got lower there. He came in to make a shot. He wasn't trying to kill anyone. He wasn't trying to be a dickhead or anything like that, but there was an opportunity to get lower there and he didn't. He missed his mark. 10 in the bin's fair enough there because I understand that the NRL wants to push player welfare as a priority. The Critta one to me just didn't fall into that category.
Yeah. And it's hard, because we've built this game about being just absolute gladiators for the last 115, whatever the fucking, however long it's been. And now and I get why they're doing it. HIAs and all that sort of stuff. Like you're looking at some of the former players that are getting older now with CG. We've got to do something. We can't let it just go on the way it is.
Of course.
But it does just put it in such a difficult spot. Like I was watching that play the other night, and as you said, the only thing Critta could have done to probably change the situation is literally wait for him to be tackled, hit the ground, then just come over the top. And I look back to, I remember in the mid 2000s, I remember one day at the SFS, I was actually there. Bunnings put up a bomb. It was Bunnings Roosters. Sean Kennedy outcaught it, and Chris Sando came through and absolutely fucking whacked him. And it was on every advertisement for 5 or 6 years.
Yes.
Great moment. Chrissy loved it. Crowd went wild. It was sensational. But we've sort of taken that out of the game to some extent. You are taking so much risks to have those moments. Like what Braden Burns did the other day, 10 years ago, that would have been a fucking great play. That was a spread that he comes through and he shuts it down. He might have given away a penalty in some instances, sure.
Yeah.
But if I was coaching, I wouldn't want my players to shoot up like that anymore. It's just too fucking risky. You can't take a punt on it anymore.
No, and that's where I think, that one and also the other one I thought might have been fair enough if it had been a sim-in based on that player welfare approach is when Tuipulotu shot in on Tracy and got a shoulder to the head. Because again, there I think you're flying in, there is an opportunity there to get lower. And granted, I know it happens so quick, but you still, in both those instances, yes, you could have gotten lower. So that's like you used the word before, the risk or the gamble that you take, right? You're trying to put a shot on for your team. You got to make sure you get low enough that you get it right. But with the Critta one, I just thought, that was different. And I do, like I said, based on how it's been officiated in the past, I get the argument that hey, if it was some young kid who's just started, he might get 10 in the bin there. I think that there's a fair point there, but whoever it was, I don't think that should be a sin bin because you do still want that balance of people going in as hard as they can within reason.
Yes.
And I thought, if you actually watch it, he sort of stutters a bit as he runs into to try and sort of get it right, and then 2 dips late. So I think not a heap he could have done there.
Yeah, I think the hard thing is, and I actually agree with you. I agree with you, but the reality is the NRL has come out and said these are the precedents for these things. When they first bring them in, every single thing that touches the head gets sin-binned for 5 or 6 weeks. The fans don't set the precedent.
No, that's right.
The NRL does. And then if you're in Vegas and Stephen Crichton does it, you got to make a decision, okay, what's our precedents? You get to the grand final last year. Reece Walsh and Jerome Hughes had 2 moments. I'm the same as you. Grand final. I'm actually okay with that. If they're going to both do it, fair. But I do get the fans' argument that if only one of those situations happen, the opposition team's going, well, fuck that.
Yeah, and that's why when I'm saying what I'm saying, I'm not disagreeing with the fans that put that forward because that makes sense. And I think the precedents should have common sense though.
Yeah.
So I think, we want to avoid contact with the head at all costs. Absolutely. There is still always in rugby league, there is going to be situations where it is unavoidable, like when a fucking 6'2", massive 100+ kilo winger drops in half a split second with Critters flying at him. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't think we should lose a player for 10 minutes there for that. What then becomes hard though? What happens if two sort of cops that shoulder and he's out cold? Which I get that argument too.
Yes, and that's the worry. Yeah.
But I just think, if we just apply common sense here, like moving forward, that's all the fans really want. They want consistency. So if we see a guy come out in round 13 on Saturday afternoon in a poo slinger and make the same fucking tackle and get sin bin, then I get it. That's ridiculous. But I just think if the answer is could he have done anything differently, if the answer is genuinely no, outside of don't make the tackle, surely it's just a penalty.
It's an interesting point you make. Like if Setu went off with the HIA, Critta goes immediately. Same tackle, nothing changes.
Yeah, which is weird because I'm actually okay with that. Which I know.
This is the environment that's been created. It's all a little bit backwards. The injury that results from that should not play any role in what actually happens, but it 100% does.
And I think it should in a situation like that where there is no mitigating or there's no opportunity to mitigate it further. I think that's fair enough. Where it's like, hey, look, like you couldn't have done much more, but they've lost a player. It's fair.
Yeah.
And I think if you're chasing fairness, that's the right call to make.
Well,
you got to go then. Whereas he gets up, he's okay. I'm okay with it being a penalty only. Like, it's such a... We don't want to get to a point where we've got 10 v 9 in some games because you can't put a fucking shot on.
Yes. When the game's built on putting shots on.
Yeah, like even when guys, slip or they get legs tackled and something that was going to be a tackle around the sternum becomes that you clip them in the chin. Like, no, it shouldn't be turning them in.
Yes.
So, yeah.
But the precedent has been set by the NRL that, hey, when these guys are exhausted and the game's faster than 7 minutes and they slip fucking 5 centimetres down, you'll get sin bin for it, which is just... It's so hard to find the happy medium of where it should be, all that sort of stuff. Now, on some refereeing calls that occurred, I want to talk about another one. I mentioned this the other day, but I'm keen to get your thoughts. Like, I actually said to one of the Newcastle staff at the airport the other day, I said, hey, does anyone clip Jermaine McEwen about what happened the other night with that try that Murray Tuilagi scored? Like, and I fully get and appreciate that. Jermaine McEwen, like a lot of us, would have been brought up, don't dive. Show a jersey every single time, put all your effort in. But I look at that moment, and it didn't end up costing them, so it won't be spoken about. But you've got Jake Clifford gets the ball, he blatantly runs behind his own player, and he realises immediately.
Yeah.
And then Jake Clifford puts in, to his credit, a fucking perfect kick. It was unreal to Murray Tuilagi. But the point still stands. He ran behind his own player, and you watch Jermaine McEwen. He bumps in to the lead runner, and in that split moment, he's got a decision. Do I fall to the ground and get a penalty immediately, or do I do what I've always been told to do and fucking compete on every single play? Credit to Jermaine McEwen. He competed, which I love. From the game point of view, it's probably the wrong thing to do, realistically, because you know it's going to be a penalty immediately. 15 minutes later, Kiraz makes a half break. He kicks it back infield. You got Setu just running back. He never looked at the guy behind him to try and block him. He watched the ball the entire time, and kick out went, beautiful. If I bump into this guy, it'll be a penalty immediately. It's exactly how it happened. And I hate the kick out does that, but I also respect it because if I'm his coach, I'm going, good on you. Do whatever it fucking takes to get us those 2 points. And if I'm the coach in Newcastle, I'm going, Jermaine, next time, hit the deck. Pretend there's a fire. Hit the deck and roll.
Yeah.
Where do you sit on this?
I'm in the channel, my inner Gus Gould.
Yes.
Fuck, it shits me to no end because... How many tries have we... You've got what's called the slide rule, obviously, in rugby league, where it's all about the inside shoulder, getting through the line, blah, blah, blah. How many fucking great tries have we seen over the years get disallowed? No one was fucking obstructed. No one dived, but he sort of didn't get through the line, or he touched the outside shoulder. The guy still had every chance to make the fucking tackle, but because that's the rule, you've heard Gus talk about it. You don't need to hear me fucking talk about it. But if we're going to do that, and then that fucking try gets let go because no one takes a dive and he puts a kick in. Like, if the rule's black and white, because I personally don't think it should be black and white. It should be the ref, and the VAR ref looks at it and goes, fuck, was anyone actually obstructed here?
Yep.
Yes, no. I'd be fine with that.
Yep.
Yeah, it's subjective. We'd get more to talk about. Sweet.
Yes.
But that's fucking... I'd love that.
Which in that moment, I actually don't think Jermaine McEwen is obstructed that much. I think it's, as far as I'm concerned, it's actually play on.
I agree. It should be play on. But how many fucking tries have we seen?
But the precedent has been set time and time again.
And it's just like, well, if you're going to run with the black and white approach, that's not a try. It's not a try. And that's why, like, you actually said it on your Monday review, but that's why he kicks the ball.
Yes, he kicks the ball immediately.
He goes, for fuck's sake, like, well, I've just run behind my own player. This is a penalty.
Yeah.
Like, no one on that field would have thought that was going to be a try.
Yeah. And it didn't end up, Newcastle won. It didn't cost them anything, obviously, but like if that was a 4-point game that the Knights lost, that is the moment that mattered the most by a distance, in my opinion.
And, if you can apply common sense there, and it's like, okay, well, they've looked at it. He didn't take a dive. And then that's what's hard when you do see players take a dive. And it's like, he probably wasn't actually obstructed, but he hits the deck. Therefore, he doesn't make the tackle. We have to apply the black and white rule.
Yes.
So you're spot on there. And we don't want players doing that. But then even in the other one, the Gutho thing I see similarly to the Critta tackle.
Yep.
What the fuck's Gutho meant to do?
Yeah.
What is he meant to do?
And what's Setu 2 meant to do? Like, he is running back. He knows he's going to take that first hit up. He needs to be back. It's his job to be there.
And, sometimes the bunker, when they speak like year 9 science teachers, they just fucking annoy me. Like, they're watching that and they go, he runs an escort line. No, he doesn't.
Yeah.
He doesn't. You're just trying to fucking find a way to get yourself out of a hole here. Like, you watch that and you slow it down and it becomes more apparent. This is just unfortunate that 3 blokes ended up in the same spot there.
Yes.
And Gutho makes a break. I think it's Hayward who gets a crack at making the tackle and misses it. Gutho's off to the races. You slow it down, that's more apparent. It makes more sense.
Yes.
And then he goes, he runs an escort line. It's just like, fuck, like you don't believe that. No one believes that. Like, why are you saying it? So, it's hopefully we've seen this in the last few years, whether it be at Vegas or in the early rounds where shit sort of, they're trying to fill out things.
Yeah,
and try
it finds
things.
its balance eventually, but I just find that so frustrating because it's just going to fundamentally change our game. And I don't know exactly what the answer is, to be honest with you. Like, I think a lot of people say, just go with the black and white. It's like, okay, but then we're having a dive-a-thon. I'm coaching players of what the looks are and what the cues are of when you hit the ground.
Which they're like a lot of them already, like Mitch Moses is the best at it.
Yeah, Kieran Foran is a fucking Kieran Foran. I got so much respect for him. It's toughest guys, one of the toughest guys I've seen play rugby league, knew all the cues and when to do it all the time.
Yeah.
It's the best defensive play you can come up with, realistically. You get a penalty out of it.
Yeah, 100%. Especially if a back rower puts himself in a position where you can execute on it, then it's essentially it turns the momentum of the game on its
100%.
head. So I think, it is frustrating when it is either black and white or it's not. I think we just need to make a call on that. But I just, like in an Origin game, if that happened, people would be fucking way more livid.
Yes,
like
100%.
Critta knocks over 2 points off the back of that.
Yep.
And they end up going to golden point. Without that bullshit 2 points. And to his credit, like tough kick. Wasn't a gimme 2 points.
Yes, yep.
Essentially a sideline conversion. But a shot that he probably shouldn't have had. And then we're talking about a Dragons victory. So it's just like, it is bigger than what people
100%.
realise in the moment. So I just think apply some common sense there. Like,
Now, you mentioned Stephen Crichton there. For me, probably my favourite moment of Las Vegas, if I'm honest, was there's a scrum down. Stephen Crichton gets it on the left side. He takes on Val Holmes. Holmes sort of handles him reasonably well. They get a penalty for breaking early from the scrum, I believe it was.
Yeah.
And Stephen Crichton, they've then got the decision of what they want to do. Stephen Crichton turns and goes, scrum it down again. My ball.
yeah.
He's not going up against a young guy like Tom Chester or a debutant or anything. He's going up against Val fucking Holmes, one of the elite players of our game. And Critta goes, I want the ball again. Shimmy, shimmy, bang, see you later, flick pass. I hear the kids say aura all the time, Tommy.
Yes.
I feel too old to say it, but my God, he's got it.
Oh, he's drowning in awe, isn't he? Yeah. There was another moment that was really funny where after the tackle we were talking about, he gets up and I think Tuapolotu or someone lips him and sort of comes over to arc up at him. And he sort of just brushes him aside like this, as if like, and just he's watching the screen trying to see if he actually hit him in the head or not. Like, he just couldn't have cared less about that. Like, he oozes aura all the time. And I think in the context of that game, against who he's going up against, to then come up with the try as well.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, it's a respectable thing. Like, that they've just seen the look that you've given him. They're going to get another crack at it, but he's just gone, let's go again. Even if he doesn't score or set up a try there, it's mad.
Yeah.
To actually come up with the play, there was fucking, 4 tries
Four
in the game.
tries in the game. That was one of them. Yeah.
Like,
And Val Holmes would have known. Val Holmes would have known, standing there defensively going, oh, shit.
oh,
This is like a fucking MJ moment. He wants the ball back to go at me again. Terrifying. Fuck that.
he actually couldn't have done much more.
No, he couldn't. No, he really couldn't have. No.
Like, Critta had to actually engage the winger and Kraz just gets it down in the corner. But it was enough.
I love that moment. That was fucking
mad.
hectic. And even just like we were at the captain's run and stuff with the Bulldogs during the week and just, mate, the way the guy walks around, the swagger he's got and he just knows he is king of the fucking world.
Oh, yeah. And he fucking kicked the field goal.
Yeah. And then you're like, oh, yeah, okay, like he's in his 30s. He's 20-fucking-5.
Oh, yeah.
He's on about hole 4. It's unbelievable.
Oh.
He could have 10 more years to go. I've said it before, like, if he wins a comp with the Bulldogs, if he wins a World Cup with Samoa, all of a sudden you're going, okay, he's had the biggest moment in international rugby league history. He's had numerous moments in grand finals. If he's the Bulldogs captain to end this drought, he's had 3 Dally M centres in a row. Like, at what point, how much, like, when he starts to win comps with Canterbury, you then go, okay, he's already got 3 with Penrith. If he wins 2 in the next 10 years with Canterbury, you go, okay, he's got 5 comps. He's got, 6 or 7 Dally M Centre of the years. Like, I personally think he starts to get into that immortal conversation. I think he's got the potential to be able to do it, especially if he is the forward-facing guy that lifts that World Cup, and that's the turning point of rugby league of the Polynesian boys have arrived. It's their fucking game now. International rugby league is alive. If Critta's the guy, which he already has been on a few occasions, Origin, he always handles himself. I think the sky's the absolute it's ceiling. It's crazy.
Surely we are done. I couldn't agree more on everything you just said. Surely we are done with the New South Wales conversation of, like fucking every year when they throw up, where's Turbo, where's Latrell?
No, he's the centre. He's the right centre.
Fucking find somewhere else for him. He is one of our centres. He should be the first guy picked, if not the captain.
Yep.
And he's probably a great poster boy for, we've got this new rule, which actually, weirdly enough, it's not that new of a rule. They're just essentially applying the criteria to more people.
Yes.
He's the poster boy for it. Fuck, like he oozes passion when he plays for the Blues.
Yeah.
You never question it. So I think not only is he going to be in the conversation by the end of his career for greatest centre of all time, but I do think he'll be in the immortal.
I think he's going to be right up there. Like, if he has that moment of being the premiership winning captain for the Bulldogs and Samoa, if that happens, which, I mean, both those things could happen in the next 8 months.
Yeah. And, the other thing.
And then he's 25 with 10 years to go.
Yeah. People sleep on it too. The year before he went, when like Burton went.
Yep.
And I think they got Marnie the same year they got Burton. They had a few guys come in. That was sort of like the year Serraldo started. They had a really tough year.
Yep.
And then he rolls in and the whole fucking thing changes.
Yep.
Like, it's just, how can one person impact a building so much?
They had Reid Marnie and Matt Burton as co-captains that year. They went away to their army camp. From what I've been told, there was 40 people there that were asked at the end of the army camp, write down who should be the captain. Apparently, he got like 37 votes.
Yeah. I was
And
going to say,
was
he
one
might
of
have
them that
42 or
didn't
something.
vote for himself. So he essentially went 37 from 39.
Yeah, fuck. Yeah, I mean, and you can see why. Like, we just spoke about the moment with the pass. He fucking kicked a field goal. He kicked a sideline penalty conversion to put him up or to level it up. It was an important kick. Like, fucking, he just does shit where you're like, oh, and then the one thing that stuck out to me about that game from him afterwards was with about 30 seconds left when he threw a forward pass. And I thought, that's not like him. Like, he done all that other shit, but, that was the thing where I was like, fuck, that's weird that he's done that.
Yeah.
Like, geez, he panicked. Like, fucking, he's unbelievable.
Yeah, mate, when I think it was in the first few minutes of the game, he didn't get to dummy half. There was a turnover.
Yes.
And I looked at that and went, oh my God, I've never seen anything like that happen to Critta before. That's why. And I just think as well, you're going to get the end of his career and we're all going to look back at that game where he came on, he ran on and he literally scored a try. Like, that sort of shit doesn't just happen to anyone. It happens to the special players. You have a look at what he's done in grand finals. Like, I think he's won a comp at left and right wing and one of the centre spots.
Yeah.
And now he's just swapped centres at the Canterbury Bulldogs. He'll win Dally M Centre this year.
Yeah.
Which will be 4 in a row at different sides. Insane.
In 2023, he also got 2 really important repeat sets. One was one I believe was a left foot grubber close to the line.
Yep.
But the other one was from about 40 out.
He spent, at their captain's run the other day, he spent about 15 minutes practicing exactly that.
From about 40 out.
From about 40 out. Yeah. Putting up bombs and putting in chips and all this sort of stuff. And they all just landed exactly where they needed to.
And, we spoke about this last time I jumped on here, but that game where Suoliti got sin-binned or sent off.
Yes.
Had they swapped his side, like Critta's side 10, 15 minutes earlier, there's a chance we win that game.
Yeah.
There's a chance
we
win
were
that
well
game.
and truly in it. Yeah.
Yeah. Like
it was the 10 minutes it took them to swap him that cost us, realistically.
And they didn't really score again. They ran in a few late, but I think that context would change if you're sort of level at that point as opposed to the game's gone.
Yes.
So I think, he is so valuable, and I'm glad that they fucked around a little bit with, will he be our fullback? And absolutely, he'd be capable of doing that. And I think the days aren't over of him coming in and playing some fullback in good ball.
I don't think they're over.
Not at all.
Yeah.
But I think it's mad to just see them going, he's a centre for now. He's just going to lock down a side. And that's how the Dogs will play this year, I reckon. Like watching them in Vegas, they'll just back themselves to not let in more than 3 tries a game and hopefully just have enough to create points above that, you know?
Yeah, I think that Bulldogs side's going to be the real deal this year. I think it's going to take time, but I think once they get Leo Thompson back in there,
huge.
Yeah, huge. Hey, what'd you make of Galvin the other night? I thought he looked bigger and fitter than I've seen. I still don't think he's a halfback. I think he's a fucking extraordinary footballer.
Yes.
What'd you make of it?
I thought the exact same thing. It's very hard to do that too. Like he's always been known for breaking Broncos records and shit, like being super fit. To get bigger and be fitter is a very, very hard thing to do. So I think he's obviously worked very hard in the off season. I think him and Preston, like, it's weird. They played short so much in that game where a couple of times there was space out the back, and I think they just weren't able to sum it up probably, but they just kept wearing down teams. And every time that they hit a little out ball to Preston or kick out late, made a few line breaks off it. Yes, you're going to play through teams, and I think Galvin's already got a really good gauge of what to do and when to do. And even sometimes I think a couple of times he hit Preston short, Preston dropped the ball, or you know, just keeping teams honest, squaring them up. When your defence is that good, you only need to land 2 of them. Yes. You know what I mean? To win a game. So I think he's going to be as good as what a lot of guys at the top have predicted for a while. How it looks long term, I don't know. Like whether he moves to 6 and Woods comes in, or it's hard to know if you're not in the building how adamant they are about him being a 7 long term. I think they would be as aware as you are that he's a footballer more than a 7. So I thought he was good. Yeah, I'm excited to see how it plays out for Canterbury this year. Mate, is there anything else before we hit the Frog and Toad? Anything, maybe a prediction for this weekend? I think have we both got the Parramatta Eels ending the streak tonight? I've got Parra ending the streak tonight, absolutely. I reckon the Titans get a W. I'm going to throw that out there. Mate, I did a show yesterday with Luke Keary. Yeah. Mate, he's very high on the Titans. He fully thinks they've turned the corner. Yeah. I think he's tipped them for a top 8 finish. Mate, there's plenty of value in them this weekend. They're nearly $4. Yeah. And I think where they're sitting right now, you know, I think Hane is the real deal. I know it's easy to say. We've said this a million times about different coaches when they start. But the one thing that I took out of their trial form, even when the Rezzies guys were playing, their scramble D, their goal line D is so much better than it's ever been in my lifetime. So, you know, I think they're a very good chance. Sharks also don't have a great round 1 record over the last few years. Like in the 5th year, dreadful. It's like 1 win, 3 losses or something. So, and, you know, they haven't played a heap together. Like they had their side off the back of the All-Stars game, played against a pretty undermanned Raiders team. That they ran a ride on them. And I think the Sharks will be right up there at the back end too. But I just think for round 1, they'll be keen to show everyone that they have turned a corner. I think they're a lot better chance than what the Sharps have them at. So I'm just going to get it up for you guys, just to have a quick read of it before we do hit the Frog and Toad here. But Rando sent me some stats the other day about round 1. So obviously the Melbourne Storm, that's in the last 5 years. So in the NRL era, the Melbourne Storm, they have played 27 round 1 games. They've won 25 of them. They've lost 2. But of course, of those 25, they've won 23 in a row. Yes. Insane. The next best 28 round 1 games, Newcastle, they've won 18 of them. So the jump from first to second goes from 92% to 64%. Yes. Absolutely fucking crazy. There is the same gap from second to 17th as there is from 1 to 2. Which is unbelievable. Just how much of an outlier Melbourne is insane. So the teams, the top 5 teams that have the best round 1 record in the NRL era: Melbourne, Newcastle, Brisbane, Roosters, and Parramatta. The Sharkies, they're down in 14th. So they've only won 37% of their round 1 games. And I think if you go to in the last 5 years, Cronulla's 2 and 3. But then if you go in the last 10 years, they've won 2, lost 8 round 1 games. Yeah. So that's at the very bottom over the last 10 years. that's where I think we are looking at 2 blue and gold ambushes over the weekend. I think both sides are every chance. I'm definitely more confident on the Eels.
Yep.
But, yeah, I think the Titans are a very good shout.
Here's one for you. Current coaches. So Bellamy, he's obviously at 100%. He's 22 from 22. Who do you reckon's at number 2? Who's got the best win percentage for round 1 games? I've really put you on the spot here. I don't think I would have got this, but...
Is it like a old timer? Or
it's an old timer, established premiership winner. Ivan is number 6. Ivan has won 55% of his round 1 games. The guy in second has won 77% of them.
It's not Madge.
It's not Madge. Madge is in 4th. He's won 63% of his round 1 games.
Get fucked, it's Wayne. No way.
It's not Wayne. Okay. Wayne's in 5th. He's won 59%. You've essentially named the top 5 except for number 2 and number 3.
Is it Robbo?
It is not Robbo.
Is this
Robbo,
Ricky?
What's that?
Is it Ricky Stewart?
It's Ricky Stewart.
Oh, Ricky Stewart. Yeah, right. There you go.
Sticky's won 77.3% of his round 1 games. Anthony Seibold has won 66%. Interesting with Robbo. He's down at 30%.
Wow.
That doesn't, you know what though, that doesn't.
They do tend to start slow. That's been a thing for years.
What's interesting about him though, that is with one club. That's the fascinating thing. So that sort of reflects the Roosters in the last sort of 15 or so years, 12, 13 years.
But yeah, Robinson is the only one in the bottom 11 that's had more than 10 round 1 games as well. And then all the guys at the top are Bellamy 22, Ricky Stewart 22 games, Seibold 6, Maguire 11, Bennett 27, Ivan Cleary 18. Interesting.
Yeah, no, it is interesting.
Ricky Stewart right up the top there. All right. Are we done?
Yeah, I think so.
How'd you guys feel first episode?
Yeah, it's good. Got an early touch.
Yeah, no, good.
We've got some things to work on. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, we'll do some video.
Bit of feedback session after.
Yeah, we'll go sit on a bag of ice and watch some video about it.
Yeah, do some tape, have a coffee.
Always.
Yeah, I took some notes.
You did?
Yeah, I'm going to Wayne Bennett you after this.
Love that. All right, guys, thanks for joining us. Our first episode for season 2025. Once again, if you have got any ideas for the name, we're going to lean into one of you guys. One of you go to Guru Football. So leave it down below in the comments. Nothing too crude. I've got to put this in places and whatnot. But be creative. Let us know what you've got there. Roo Crew link is down below. We've got the Footy Tipping Comp and the Supercoach Comp. Thousands of dollars up for grabs there. So make sure you come and join it. Go and follow Tom Jaeger on Instagram. What's coming up?
Just a bit of the same. Few more food reviews. On a bit of a diet at the moment though, so that's what it is. Yeah,
nice.
And then I think going up to the state champs for the Oz.
You know what'd be good for your diet? Go to Vegas for 5 days. That'll fuck you up.
Oh, I wouldn't last 2 days in Vegas, I reckon. But yeah, I'm going up to do the state champs at Coughs for the Oz tag, do some commentary.
Yeah, right. No stinks on the sideline, all
right? No, that's been covered already, unfortunately. So,
have you done some content?
Hey,
have you?
No, I've steered well clear of that. I saw the video and thought, fucking. I mean, it's crazy stuff. It's crazy stuff. No one cares about Oz tag more than me, but fucking hell.
Can I ask from a food review perspective?
Yeah.
What are some of the next spots you're going to hit up?
I'm keen to go back. There's some phenomenal stuff going on in Newcastle.
Oh, yeah.
The Novocastrians, they get food. I went down to Wollongong and did Uncle George's. Has that come across your desk? It's like the best burger in the world, apparently. Volk. I saw Volk do it. He went in there and watched him make it and that.
He knows a good burger too.
And he can make one himself. So, yeah, I went down there, tried that. That was world class. But, yeah, probably a few more. Wouldn't mind doing like a little, country town bakery tour.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I'm not a huge pie guy, but if we're going to do it, we're going to do it right. We're going to do it well.
You got to go to New Zealand for some pies.
Yeah, what's that one called? The famous one?
I think they're all famous over there. The pies in
You
New
can't
Zealand
get a bad pie over there, apparently.
Yeah, there's one, though, that everyone carries on about. The name escapes me, but... Oh, Ferg's.
Ferg's, yeah.
Is that the one?
Yeah.
So we'll get there.
She's a bit of a foodie. You should get a list of
I was just going to say mad respect because Eljana was a huge part of just, I suppose, character development for me growing up.
As an OG,
I know you're a big fan of the Lebanese chicken.
Yeah. Have you had a na at Croydon Park?
I live around the corner from there. I have had a lot of na.
That's what I've been told is that's like the Eljana revolt.
That is my local chicken. Like that's where I go when I need to go out and get a quick chicken. It's
it's unbelievable. Yeah. So yeah, shout out to them. But yeah, apparently they're like what Eljana was back in the day before they sort of made it big.
Well, I'm old enough to remember Eljana back in the day. The old Granville days. Yeah, that was it.
And when are you going up to Coughs?
A couple of weeks.
Yeah, a few weeks away.
Yeah, I think 23rd or something like that.
Nice.
That weekend.
Unreal. You Chooks getting a win this weekend?
I hope so. I mean, fuck over there, tough ask, but I think the boys will be on. I'm backing them in.
I think I had it in the Roo Crew last night, but I think you're going to see Rob Toyer ruled out. So I think Tommy Talau is going to be right centre, I believe. We'll wait and see on that one, though.
Tommy's up for it.
Hugo wasn't named. Injured? Do you know?
He's in a boot at the moment.
Okay.
So I think something's doing there. Yeah. It's weird, though. Moon boots are hard to tell because sometimes blokes will wear a moon boot all week and then fucking play 95 minutes. So, but yeah, I think he must be because he's in a boot. So.
All right, sweet. All right, leave your comments down below, ideas for names, and we will see you next week and every week moving forward. Thursday, 3 p.m. Sowie will be out Wednesday, 6 a.m. each and every week. We'll see you then. Cheers, guys.